We dream of retirement and what we'll do when that day finally arrives, and we have all the time in the world to tick off that bucket list. But there's no guarantee that we'll even make it to retirement. We can spend our years dreaming, planning, and talking about it, or we can throw caution to the wind and just do it. Why just live for the weekend? We have every single day for adventures. We're Chris and Amy. My dream was to hit the road as a van lifer and visit every state in the lower 48.
My dream was to buy a sailboat, be a pirate, and fish every day. So how do we choose which to do?
We didn't. We're doing it all and more. Join us while we chase 72 degrees in search of the best coffee, beer, food trucks, epic sunsets, bike trails, and fishing this country has to offer. We may even bring along some friends.
Size upside down. There.
Alright, adding in state number 21, Oregon.
Made it all the way across.
All the way across.
Gotta go catch fish now.
The National Historic Oregon Trail Interpretive Center is a museum that teaches about the challenges the pioneers faced as they left their life behind to start a new life in the American West. Entrance fee for this museum was free with our America the Beautiful Pass. Home for the night was Virtue Flats OHV area. It's on BLM land where boondocking is free.
There were tons of off-road trails for dirt bikes and side-by-sides, and tons of bones along the road coming in and out of there.
Drove along the Columbia River for a couple of hours. Home for the night was Columbia Gorge Discovery Center and Museum, a harvest host. Since we arrived later than planned, the museum had already closed, so we didn't get to tour this one.
We biked the trail that went from the museum into town for dinner. And we saw tons of raccoons and even a deer we didn't catch on video. We'd fill up on fuel right before getting to the museum, but the next morning we were low on fuel. And I'm pretty sure I've seen the car, but somebody stole a bunch of fuel from us. A whole family of them.
Food truck food halls have sprung up everywhere, and it seems like the country is trying its best to support the food truck industry. Beer, hibachi, all set. Alright, let's go find a chair or...
This one had 20 food trucks. They had anything you can imagine. We both ended up picking the same one and had a bunch of
Let's see mine. The next big stop was to be Portland. I'm sure there are some very cool, very unique spots in Portland, but none are visible from the interstate. We passed several homeless encampments literally on the side of the interstate and counted a half-dozen shopping carts abandoned on the exit ramps. It's difficult to navigate the RV in larger cities anyway, so we decided to skip the Portland experience and drove on through. The floating houses on the waterway were very cool though, and I wish I had gotten to see more of those.
As we entered Astoria, we stopped for gas and heard barking. It turned out to be sea lions. We followed the sound to a bike path. You could see them in the distance. There were hundreds of them. We crossed over into Washington and parked in the rest area parking lot overnight.
The next day's adventure was Cape Disappointment State Park. The beaches and the lighthouses are absolutely beautiful. The park ranger we encountered was not. Maybe he was just having a bad day, but with this being our only impression of Washington State, we decided that maybe it wasn't for us and headed back across the bridge to Oregon. Just in case, I was ready.
What?
Just in case you fell and bust your butt.
Christian my ninja skills. Burning Man, that's what all just left somewhere. Look at all the stuff there. I wasn't expecting all that.
What did you think it was going to be like?
You don't see the mountains, but there is mountains. They just behind the hill now.
Like Pam Anderson,
Yeah, I was expecting her to be running.
Baywatch.
There ain't even a tower. Where they at?
Southern Cal. We'll get there.
From Memory's Corner. Is that a big one? Our harvest host that night was a berry farm. The farm grew cranberries and blueberries. The cranberries weren't in season, so we picked a big bucket of blueberries.
We crossed back over the Astoria-Megler Bridge. Here's a ride along so you can get an idea of how long this bridge really is.
Next stop was the Blue Heron French Cheese Company. They had a large area for RV parking and were a harvest host. We would highly recommend a stop here if you are ever passing through on the Oregon coast.
Woo! Good job!
We overnighted at Willamette Valley Smokehouse. We had dinner that night, then lunch the next day. They also have a coffee truck there, so of course I had to try it. Second best barbecue on the West Coast. We spent 4 days at Foster Lake RV Resort, killing time before our special guests arrived. The damn bar is next door to the campground, and check out this margarita flight. Awesome bartender, and the place felt like one of the watering holes back home.
In Eugene, I found a sign on the bike trail.
Teague! You found us! I know we were hard to spot in the parking lot.
Well, I came out here and I looked and I didn't see you guys, and I was like, oh, hey! But so far I've been here and I scored one of these, and I scored a charger.
Oh, wow.
And I've only been here less than
Stick
5
around.
minutes.
Oregon is an absolutely beautiful state, but exploring it wiped these two out. After their nap, we continued down the coast and were treated to some of the most sweeping, picturesque views you'll ever see.
Oh, yeah, you should have stopped. Shit, stop. Skirt! Okay, that was fun. Okay.
Join us next time as we travel the California coast with Teague.